Hi everyone, it's Anne from Annalise Creations. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. I'm here to show you how I altered the front of this composition book. I'm going to be using some sandpaper here to rough up the front of the cover so that you can things will adhere a little better to the front of the cover. This is a composition book that I'm prepping to use for a series I'm following on Cindy Utter and Gina Ahrens' channels. They're doing an explorations of me, I should say, on their YouTube channels, and I thought I would follow along and show you my process of the whole thing. And so I'm prepping the front of this composition book for it. And so as you could see, I'm roughing up a little bit with sandpaper. I didn't really have a very rough, coarse sandpaper to use on this. It was kind of a fine sandpaper, but I was like, okay, I'll try it anyways. And then I went ahead and I'm grabbing some media line. It's actually the Deco Arts media gesso from their media line. And so I'm going to add some layers of gesso onto this to make absolutely sure everything adheres well, that will, things will stick good to the front of this cover and not come off in the end. And I'm wetting it down a little bit because this gesso comes on pretty thick and I don't like wasting it all, so I add a little bit of water to thin it out, even though I'm adding several layers to this. And I have to apologize. Normally I don't narrate my videos, but this particular day we had a lot of activity going on in the park next door. I live right along a park trail, and I live right where there's a big opening where a lot of parents and kids go out to play and stuff, and it was just really noisy that day, and my dogs were barking because of it, and they were doing their guard duty job. And my family was home, and so there was just a lot of background noise coming in, and I didn't want you guys to hear all of that, so that's why I am narrating all of this today. So as you can see, I'm just going along and adding those extra little layers and just smoothing it out as best I can. And then I, will go in and dry it, and I'm not showing that on the film because it's just too noisy, and it just makes the video way too long. And I'm actually wiping off the excess right now on my drop paper, and then you'll see me for the next part. And this part I went ahead and I had already glued on some it was like a duplicate or replica of what you want to call of an old New York Times newspaper that someone had sent me in the mail. And I'm going ahead and I put that on, and now I'm just smoothing it out, making sure all the air bubbles are out of it so that it dries fairly flat. And then I had done some jelly printing on some deli paper, and I really liked how it turned out, and so I decided I was going to use that on the front cover. So I'm just kind of trimming off some of the excess off the jelly printed deli paper. Say that 20 times. It becomes a tongue twister. So anyway, so I'm trimming excuse me, I can't speak today. I'm trimming off the excess. And then I'm going to be using the decoupage napkin medium by Deco Arts. Their Deco Art decoupage napkin is what it's called. It's thinner. It's more of a watered down version of like matte medium, or of like you would see Mod Podge, and it's not as sticky. It doesn't stick like a lot of the other type least expensive, inexpensive mediums. So I'm using that, because I really like it. It's thin enough and it goes down real nice, and I don't have to worry about stickiness or tackiness afterwards after it dries. It doesn't stick. So I'm just lining up my deco paper and seeing where I'm lining up my jelly paper. Sorry, I can't speak today. Like I said, I can't talk. Ah! So I'm just putting it on, and I'm not too concerned about any wrinkles or bumps that shows on it, because I kind of like that wrinkled texture that is left behind. And I don't know what I was speaking about there, but I was speaking into the camera and hoping that maybe the background noise wouldn't be picked up, but in the end, when I ended up listening to the video, prior to doing this narration, I decided, no, it's not going to work out. So I went ahead and just decided to narrate. So I'm just adding a little extra underneath because some of the stuff wasn't quite adhering well. So I'm adding a little extra decoupage napkin underneath. And I'm taking a little credit card or a old gift card, and I'm running it along the paper to just get out, smooth a little bit some of the wrinkles just a little bit, and get the excess matte medium, or should I say medium, off of there. And I went ahead and dried everything off camera, so now everything's pretty dry, nice and dry. And I think I'm going ahead and grabbing some other materials here. Yeah, I'm grabbing some of the Americana paint by Deco Art. It's the fluorescent, the neon colors. And I'm using their neon orange, neon green, and neon reds, I believe, or red. I can't remember the names, the exact names offhand. And I'm taking a makeup sponge and just kind of dabbing it onto the areas where there isn't any paint. I'm just kind of blending it in along with the other paint as well. Just kind of getting it in there. Now I'm grabbing some of the neon green and I'm adding a little bit more on there. Actually, maybe I didn't use the neon green. Oh no, I went ahead and used the yellow instead. That's what I did. So I'm blending that in as well. I had a lot of fun with this one. It was a lot of fun. I like using bright colors and floral type papers and things. I actually used it was like a border or like a placemat, but that it had like flowers on it and like a border. So I went ahead and used that when I did the jelly printing. I used that as a mask or as a stencil, and that's what came out on the deli paper. So I was really happy with that. So now I'm just grabbing some paints, and I'm grabbing one of my favorite stencils, and I'm going to go ahead and stencil some circles on there. And I believe I was using like a turquoise, or yeah, I think I was using a turquoise color from the Americana. Actually, the Traditions, Deco Art Traditions artist acrylic paints is what it's called, what they're called, and that's what I picked up. I believe it was a turquoise. So I'm dabbing on using a makeup sponge just in certain areas, the circles from this particular stencil. Alright, so now I'm grabbing some of my Posca pens, and you will see me outlining some of the circles as well as the flowers that are on the deli paper that I used. And so I'm just going through and trying to find colors and some stencils I want to use, and I'm basically just making more marks. some, I believe it's like quinacridone red, I believe, and I'm running some paint along the bottom of a gift card and to make some lines and marks. I like doing that. Sometimes it leaves thinner marks than like corrugated paper, corrugated cardboard would leave. I can't speak today, I tell ya. Alright, so I'm taking some metallic Emperor's Gold. It's by Deco Art, and I'm taking some of the sheetrock or drywall tape, I believe it is, and I'm going to go ahead and get a makeup sponge, I believe it is, and I'm just adding some paint through it to add some marks, but I don't know what I was doing there. I think I was adding, I don't know. Anyhow, I've got a new makeup sponge I'm using, and I'm just going in and adding marks through the drywall tape, kind of using it like a stencil. So I've zoomed in a little bit so you guys could see better as I'm making marks and kind of outlining the flowers from the jelly printing that I did the other day. Alright, so I used my Sizzix Big Shot with a stencil that was shaped like a door, and I went ahead and punched it out, I guess, die cut it, and so now I'm going to glue it down using some of Aleene's tacky glue to make sure that it adheres really well, and so then you'll see my next step. So I'm just making sure that it really is on there good, and then I dried it off camera, made sure I used my heat gun to dry it off a little more, and now I'm taking a stencil and I'm going to add a little more marks on the side of the composition book. Alright, so to shorten the time of this video, I went ahead and cut off camera some letters to spell out "Welcome to my colorful life." And so I'm going to glue those down, and then I will outline them using my Stabilo All pencil. And after I do that, then I take a very fine brush with some decoupage napkin, and I'm going to go around the outlines that I did around the letters. You'll see in a few minutes. And so that's pretty much it. So after I was done outlining my letters, I went in and started outlining the door with the Stabilo All pencil. And then I'm going to go in again with the fine brush, and with the napkin, decoupage napkin, I'm going to outline, you know, using that over the Stabilo All pencil. That makes it permanent, so the Stabilo All won't move around afterwards. And I went ahead after that and dried all of that off camera, and then you'll see me go on to the next step. So after I outlined the door and everything, I decided that I wanted to add some metallic copper color to the door to give it a better look and kind of age it a little bit. And so that's what I did, using that same fine brush that I used earlier to outline everything. Alright, so then I took a brad, but I was having issues getting it glued down. I had to cut the ends off the brad to have it lay a little bit flatter. And then I used some Aline's glue, tacky glue, to glue it on, but as you can see, I'm having issues. And in the end, I got some of it on camera, and then I kind of gave up. And you'll just see it in the very end, all nice and dry. Well, that's it for this cover, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope that you will like, subscribe, share, and comment. And I shall see you next time. Thanks for watching. Again, bye. Toodles. See you next time. Ba-da-ba.